The fall of the prince. There was a time long before the earth, before man, before even the first stars shone in the sky. It was a time of glory, a time of perfection. In the highest of heavens, where divine light shone the brightest, there existed an incomparable being. His splendor was dazzling, his beauty unmatched. His voice sang melodies that made the heavens tremble in praise. His name? Lucifer. But who was he? The Bible describes him as the most exalted of angels. Ezekiel 28:12-15 reveals that he was the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. He was adorned with precious stones and walked among the blazing fire. He was the anointed cherub created to stand before the throne of the Almighty. But something happened. Something that would change the course of eternity. A seed was planted in his heart, a small seed, but a deadly one. A whisper echoed within him. Why should I serve when I can be served? And so, the greatest sin of all was born: pride. Lucifer no longer wanted to reflect God's glory. He wanted to possess that glory. In Isaiah 14:12-14, we find his words, "I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God, and I will be like the Most High." He wanted to rule. He wanted to be God. But what happens when the creature rises against the Creator? Lucifer's plan was set. He would not act alone. With his enchanting voice, with his mesmerizing presence, he began to whisper among the celestial hosts, and 1/3 of the angel, 1/3 of heaven's armies were seduced by his promise. And then the rebellion began. The war that shook heaven. The unthinkable happened. Within the highest celestial sphere, where harmony had reigned since eternity, a conspiracy began. Lucifer, the brilliant, the anointed, the glorious, became the adversary. He was no longer a servant of the Most High. He wanted to be the Most High. With words sweet as honey, he whispered doubts into the hearts of the angels. Why do we bow? Why do we worship? Why does he reign and we only serve? And 1/3 of the angels, 1/3 of the immortal armies allowed themselves to be carried away by the forbidden promise. They wanted to reign alongside Lucifer. They wanted a new throne, a new order. But then something happened. The rebellion was discovered. Heaven fell silent. The music stopped. The glory trembled, and God spoke. His eyes burned like fire. His voice was like thunder splitting eternity. Enough! Holiness does not share space with corruption. The Creator does not share his throne with creation. And then war began. Revelation 12:7-9 reveals what happened. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but they did not prevail, nor was their place found in heaven any longer. It was a battle of cosmic proportions. The archangel Michael, commander of the celestial armies, led the charge. Light against darkness, flaming swords against corrupted shadows. The clash of powers echoed through the heavens, but Lucifer did not win. He was not the Creator. He was not God. And now he would face his destiny. The gates of heaven opened like an abyss. A blazing light engulfed Lucifer and his followers. And then, before the eyes of all creation, they fell. Like lightning, like stars torn from the firmament, they were cast into the abyss. Lucifer's brilliance extinguished. His name transformed. The one who was the bearer of light was now known as Satan, the adversary, but his story was only beginning. Satan's revenge. The fall was terrible. The splendor of heaven was replaced by the darkness of the abyss. What was once music was now an empty echo of pain. But Lucifer did not accept his defeat. He had sworn to have a throne. He had promised a kingdom. And if heaven did not belong to him, he would find another domain. So he waited until something new happened. God, in his infinite majesty, did something the universe had never witnessed. He created. From the depths of the void, he shaped a new reality, the firmament, the stars, the oceans, the mountains. And then, at the pinnacle of his creation, he made man. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Genesis 1:26. Creation now had a new center. God himself walked with Adam and Eve in the garden, spoke with them, loved them. And when Satan saw this, he knew. If he could not defeat God directly, he would destroy what God loved most. His heart filled with hatred, and then he devised his plan. If Adam and Eve were the image of the Most High, he would make them fall. The serpent crawled, the words were whispered, the doubt was planted. You will not surely die. Genesis 3:4. And in a single moment, man fell. The poison of sin entered creation. Death began to reign, and Lucifer smiled. He had succeeded. He had tainted God's masterpiece, but what he did not know was that God already had a plan that would destroy his victory, a plan that would crush his head, and that plan was a name. The final destiny of Satan. The centuries passed. Kingdoms rose and fell. The world became an invisible battlefield between light and darkness. But then something happened. God came to earth, the one whom Lucifer hated, the one he had tried to overthrow, but he came as a man. Jesus Christ, the very Son of God, was born among men, and when Satan saw this, he was filled with despair. He tried to kill him as a baby. He failed. He tried to lead him astray in the wilderness. If you bow down and worship me, I will give you all this. Jesus refused. Then Satan did what he did best. He conspired. He stirred the hearts of men against the Son of God, and then the cross. The Son of God hung, bloodied, humiliated. Satan believed he had won, but he forgot one thing. The cross was God's plan all along. And on the third day, the tomb opened. Christ rose. Death was defeated. The price of sin was paid. And Satan, he lost. Now he is defeated. His end has already been written. Revelation 20:10 declares his final destiny. And the devil who deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. He will have no throne, no kingdom, no glory. The fallen prince will be eternally consumed by fire. This is the story of Lucifer, from angel of light to eternal enemy. And now, the question is, whose side are you on? The destiny is set. What about yours? Lucifer fell. His end is sealed. He cannot change his fate, but you can. The war between light and darkness is not just a story of the past. It is happening now, all around you. And you? Are you ready? If this story made you think, if it awakened something inside you, then don't stop here. Here on this channel, we reveal truths that many dare not speak. Stories that challenge what you believe, that shake what you think you know. So, if you want to understand more about the hidden mysteries of the Bible, about the end times, and what is truly coming, subscribe now. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. And remember, the truth may be uncomfortable, but ignoring it could cost you dearly. The choice is yours.